Hello everybody. So today is, well, technically yesterday was my 1 week post-op. I can't believe it's already been a week. It went by fast, I guess, when it was actually happening, and went by slow because you are in pain and you're like, oh shit, like I just hope this just ends. But yeah, it's already been a week, so I went to the doctor's today to meet with my surgeon just to follow up and see, like, he wanted to do a checkup. So everything is good. He said I did great. I'm doing awesome. The only thing that they didn't weigh me before I went into my surgery, which I thought was a little weird. So their last weight they have on my chart was 244, and that was like from a couple months ago. So like that's what they're going off of. So like they weighed me again today with their scale, and it said 422. So they're like, oh, good for you, you lost 22 pounds. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, whatever. When I weighed myself here though, this morning I weighed 220. So I'm assuming those 2 pounds that they add, or that were out the other scale, or because like my boots or whatever, because maybe they didn't take it off. I don't know. And I drank like a bunch of water before I went. But yeah, so my weight before I weighed myself, when I weighed myself before surgery, was 229 at my home scale, and now I'm down to 220. So that's a 9-pound loss within the first week, which like I thought I was maybe like 7, like I don't know, because I am on like the smaller size for the for like the whole surgery in general. I know I had to maintain my weight of 242 for almost a full year, so I would still qualify for my insurance to pay for it, because if not, if I dropped any lower, then my BMI would be too small, and they wouldn't approve of it. So yeah, I had to do that. I don't know if it's different if I go to Mexico or something and get it done, but that's how it was at Kennedy Health or Jefferson Health, whatever it is now. So yeah, 9 pounds, pretty good for the first week. I feel okay. Like I'm not in like pain, like I'm not like dying, but like there is still a little bit of discomfort. Especially, it's more so just the one incision where they pulled the part of my stomach out. That's the only thing. Yeah, so that's really it for that. Today I kind of wanted to talk about like my whole like surgery experience, like from like what happened that whole day. So I got to the hospital and I had to fast the whole night before. I know some people were saying that the night before, like their doctor was telling them to have like one last meal or something like that. Nope, not for me. I didn't really like care either. Like I don't know. My doctor keeps saying like I know everyone's different, but for me I feel like it's not true. He keeps saying that I'm gonna go fall into like a depression, and you go through like all these stages of regret and depression, and all because you can't eat what you used to eat and stuff. But like my main reasons why I gained weight was because birth control. I had a really bad breakup, and I joined a sorority all at the same time. So there's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of depression, and the birth control just pumped me full of hormones that just blew me up. But before, like a couple years ago, like I wasn't this big, and I feel like all those 3 factors definitely were the reason for this. But I'm happy that I'm able to get control of it and get back to where I was and be better. But yeah, so he keeps telling me that I'm gonna go through like depression and sadness, that I can't eat the foods that I used to eat. But like I really did eat healthy before all of this. Like I love tofu, I love vegetables, like I don't drink soda, like yeah, everyone like cheats and like eats cake every once in a while. I don't even like cake, actually. I'm not a cake person. Brownies though, brownies have my heart. But yeah, so anyway, so I got to the hospital and I went to like my first like waiting room thing, and they put me on a bed and like let me lay down and just let me like relax, because they know the nerves are going. And I got there at 10 a.m. and then I was with my dad and my grandmother. My grandma had the gastric bypass band, like years ago, but she did amazing. She lost over like 100 and some pounds on that with like the help of like Weight Watchers. So they hooked me up to my Actually, no, I don't think they did the IV yet. Like, I had to wait a while because, like, I guess that was the last surgery of the day, which kind of sucked because, like, I just wanted to get it done with and, like, just go. But they had to wait, and then then there was a fire or something because the alarm started going off and they closed all the doors, and I looked outside my window and there was a fire truck. So I was like, okay, this is weird. What had me thinking, like, what did they do if they're doing open heart surgery or something like that and the fire happens? Like, do they roll that individual out of the parking lot? Like, I don't know. Weird. So yeah, so I just waited around for the surgeon to come in, and I was visited by this nurse that came like 6 or 7 times. This other surgical nurse who was like super rude. I don't know why. She was like explaining things to me, and like as a normal person, I'm like nodding, like acknowledging that I'm understanding what she's saying and that she is speaking to me, and I'm nodding, like saying yeah. And she says, "Oh, are you a nurse?" And I said no. But, "Oh, are you in the medical field at all?" No. She's like, "Oh, okay, seems like you know a lot about this kind of stuff. Do you?" And I was like, "No, but like," just acknowledging, like, I'm not being a smart ass, like, I don't know if that's how she took it, I don't know. I don't know. But, yeah, so she came in, and then the anesthesiologist came in, he was real funny, so that was good, calmed me down a little bit more. I honestly thought I was gonna cry at some point that day, but like I didn't, which I'm very proud of myself because like I've had full-blown panic attacks at like the dentist, like, so there's that. And then finally the surgeon came in, and one of his resident surgeons, I don't know, he was really cute though. He was like this tall, like handsome man with flowing black hair. Whew, hottie. So I'm like sitting there like in my hospital gown with no bra on. I'm like, okay, it's a little but whatever, I guess I see that stuff kind of all the time. But I don't think I saw a wedding ring, so I forget your name, but coming for you. But then so I guess he left, and then like 5 minutes later, not even, I think they rolled in a bed, or maybe I was they took me in that bed. They hooked me up to an IV. I guess I was on the bed that I started with. I don't really remember. Because I woke up in another bed, so I don't know. Maybe they moved me? I have no idea. Anyways, they put the IV in for me. And the anesthesiologist, it was a different one because there was 2. And she was like, okay, I'm about to put something in you to make you happy. And then I felt it and it burned. And I like looked over at my grandma. I'm like, Gran, I feel it. And then I guess I passed out because I remember them like starting to roll me away. And then I guess I passed out, and then I woke up again in the surgery room, and I remember looking up, and the walls were all green. There were 2 doors. They were wood. There was one here. They kind of looked like an old like surgery room that you see on like horror films, which is like, no, like that scared the shit out of me. So then I see like my surgeon in the corner, like sitting there texting on his phone. And then I'm looking up and I see like the lights, and then I guess the anesthesiologist said something along the lines like, this is just oxygen, which is like, everyone knows it's not oxygen. We're not dumb. But I guess maybe if you say like, oh, this is whatever they put on you, people may freak out. I'm not really sure. So they put that on me, and then boom, I was out. Then I wake up into the first recovery room. That shit looked crazy. That reminded me of like when in movies when you see like aliens being operated on or whatever, where everyone's sitting like in a circle or laying in beds in like a circular pattern kind of thing. So that's what that looked like. The woman next to me was like moaning in so much pain. Then they wheeled in this other woman who she was stabbed like 8 times or something. I don't even know. She was saying that she was on drugs, that she was an alcoholic, and that she was pregnant, and she was stabbed. So I'm like what is going on? I'm like trying to wake up out of my anesthesia. But I had a really rough time, and I'm not too sure why, but they said during surgery I stopped breathing. And then I heard the nurses, like when they woke me up, everyone sounded very distant. Like maybe I died, I don't know. And then I came back, but everyone sounded very distant. All I heard was she's not breathing. And then I felt like violent shaking. They like grabbed me and started like shaking me, and they started like, Audrey, wake up, Audrey, wake up. And then I was like, what? Like leave me alone, stop touching me. And then that nurse that I had in there, she was taking care of me, was very nice. I don't remember her name, and I wish I do, because when they called to say, like, oh, like, who was your favorite nurse, like, she was, and I can't remember her name, and I feel bad. But, like, you're all drugged up, so of course you're not gonna remember. So yeah, so she was monitoring my breathing, and she was counting, like, every minute, how many breaths I was taking, and I was only taking 9. So, like, that wasn't good. So they were like, Audrey, like, we can't give you, like, any pain medicine or anything until you start breathing normal. And I'm like, I breathe very shallow to begin with, and I guess it just made it worse. I don't know. But, so yeah, so I was like, I think I laid there for, like, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. And then they started, she gave me the morphine pump. And, but it was weird, because, like, I was having a full-blown conversation with her, and she was, like, so confused. She's like, she's not breathing, but she's having a full conversation with me, and she's very, like, conscious right now. Like that's kind of how I am when I'm drunk, though. Like, I'm very good at, like, just putting on, like, a normal face, and, like, people don't know that I'm drunk. Which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But I had a full-blown conversation with her about something, and I was in and out and just, like, kind of rolling my head around, like, eyes around. And then she finally gave me the morphine pump, and she's like, only press this if you need it. And I was like, oh, like, got a little trigger happy and just kept hitting it. And she yelled at me, and I think she took me off of it for a little bit. Morphine's good, though. I don't know. Some people say, like, it made them feel sick or something, but no, I loved it. And then like, the transport woman came and got me, and she was really funny. She was like, oh, girl, like, you look so pretty. Like, because my hair was up and I look a mess. And she's like, you look so pretty. You look so nice. And then she rolled me up to my room where my grandma and my dad were waiting. And I was still like, ooh. And I guess I was saying stuff. I don't know. The nurse, when I got there, or the tech, she said that I was saying, like, really funny things. So I have no idea what I said. I probably said something dumb. I don't know. No idea. But I don't like to, like, while you're drugged up, like, if I was there by myself, or, like, say my grandma and my dad were, like, still out and they didn't have time to, like, come right that minute, doctors are coming in and stuff and, like, telling you things, and, like, you're drugged up, like, you have no idea what they're saying. Like, I apparently made all of these appointments that I didn't know about until today. Like, I had no idea. Like, this woman came in and just scheduled me for all this stuff, and then they were telling them certain things that I can and can't do, and I have no idea. No idea what they said. So I didn't like that. Like, they should wait until you're conscious enough to be like, okay, yeah, like, I understand. Not nodding in and out. So yeah, so then my night was weird. So on my floor, there was, I think, 4 or 5 of us that got the surgery that day. So we took up one of the, like, hallways. It was like a big loop. And I only saw one of the guys. There were other people, but I didn't see them. I don't know why. I don't know if they just didn't walk, or I don't know. But the whole other side was other patients. So, of course, the girl that got stabbed was there. That's how I knew she, like, I don't know. She was on something else. Then there was this woman, and she refused to go in her room. She had, like, dementia, or I don't know, she was, like, a mental patient. Like, she shouldn't have been on the floor. She should have been in, like, on the psych floor. She needed some serious help, and I felt really bad, but she scared the shit out of me. She, an older woman, and so she refused to go to her room, so they put her out in the hallway in one of the chairs and gave her a table, and, like, had her IV and everything all in the hallway. So as you're taking your laps, you would have to keep passing her, which is fine, but, like, she was, like, in the way, because they had her, I don't know, it was just really stupid. So that, when I started taking my first lap, she was fine. It was later that night, she woke up at, like, 3 a.m. and started screaming bloody murder. Like, the whole floor could hear it. And I'm on the opposite side. Like, there's a whole big desk and cabinets blocking, so, like, there's a sound barrier, but nope. She was screaming so loud I could hear it. She was screaming bloody murder. She was screaming that she was getting raped. Like, all this stuff. Like, she should have been in the psych ward. Like, it was not... It worried me. So, like, I woke up and my nurse came over and I was like, what is going on? Like, is she okay? At first, I didn't know that they had other patients on the floor, so I was like, oh my god, is she one of the patients, like, the bariatric patients? Like, oh my god, is she okay? Did her stomach burst open? Like, Lord Jesus, I don't know. And she was like, no, they're just trying to take care of her. And she screamed for 3 hours straight. I'm not even joking. Like, from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. she was just screaming, and they couldn't get a hold of her. Oh my god, I couldn't sleep. It was so bad. Just kept hitting my morphine thing, like trying to sleep, it just like didn't work. And then it kind of pissed me off too. They kept plugging my IV in where I couldn't reach it. Like there was a plug that was higher, which like the nurse on my second day was like, oh, why don't you just plug it in up here? I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I don't have to keep calling the nurse to come over, and like I can just do it myself. And like that's exactly what she said. She was like, just unplug it yourself. You don't need to call me to do it. Like you can just do it. I was like, then why didn't the other nurses do it? Because now I feel like a pain in the ass. So yeah, so I unplugged myself. I would go to the bathroom, and this was probably like once an hour because the IV was going through me so much. So I did that, and then I did my walks every time I went to the bathroom. And by the end of it, I probably made about like 95 laps, because I did stay an extra day. Most people had their surgery and they were discharged like the next day. Me, no. I had a really bad gas pain underneath my right rib, and I hurt so bad. I was actually on the phone with someone, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't breathe, I'm gonna hang up now. But then it also made sense too that like to discharge me the next day, because the person that had like the first surgery of the day had all of that time to recover. I really only had a couple hours of that day, because I didn't go into surgery until like 3, and I was out by like 6. So I really just had that night, and that guy had a whole night, a whole day, and then the half of the first day, or the second day. What? My cat's swatting at me. So yeah, so the doctor came in and he was like, "Duh, do you want to stay on the night?" I was like, "Yes, please. Like, I don't think I could do this on my own right now." Which I kind of really liked. And if you can, stay an extra day, because like think about it, like you're getting those IV fluids, and so you can make sure that you're staying hydrated. That's kind of why part of the reason why I wanted to stay too. I was like, I don't know if I trust myself going home and drinking, because like right now I don't want to, and at least the IV will be pumping through me and like keep me alive. All the nursing staff was great. Just except the one woman in like the first recovery room, like when you first wake up out of surgery, she like had all my bags and stuff. They put them in lockers at my hospital, and she just like threw them on my bed. I'm like, girl, like I just got out of surgery, like why are you throwing them at me? It was very, very strange. Guess she had a bad day, I don't know. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, whatever. But all the other nurses were really good. There was a couple male nurses that were very attractive. So that was fun. I got to flirt with them a little bit while I was all like loopy. So then that too, when I was walking around my laps, everyone on my side were bariatric, everyone else on the floor wasn't. So like they were getting food delivered to their rooms, and like, ugh, it reeked. And like, it wasn't that like food was making me nauseous. No, it was like a tad. But like I can't imagine that some other people I've heard like just projectile vomit or whatever they do when they smell food, like right after surgery. I didn't have that. But the one woman that was in the hallway, she kept ordering fried fish, so it just reeked. And like I hate seafood to begin with, like, ugh, it's so gross. And she just kept ordering it. It was so foul. And then the guy that would come to like collect the food at the end of the night or whatever, like didn't. So like all the trash, it just smelled so bad. And like I told the surgeon today, he's like, is there anything that we could have improved on? I was like, yeah, that, because like that was disgusting. And I know right after you get your stomach chopped out, like the last thing you want to smell is fried fish made by a hospital. Like, ugh. So yeah. Another thing too, my nurse, like I guess she might have went on her dinner break or something. Once again, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt because she was very nice. My IV fluids ran out, and so there was nothing like pumping through. So I guess like my vein like closed up, and the light's starting to, the sun's going down. So she tried to put the IV back in and like pump all the fluids in, and it hurt so bad. And she was like, "Oh, do you want me to stop?" Because I yelled at her. The drugs were like giving me, like making me ballsy, I don't know. So I yelled at her, and I didn't mean to. And she was like, "You want me to stop?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No, just keep going, I guess. Like I don't know, just don't mind me." It wasn't that it was ballsy. I felt comfortable with her. Like she felt like a friend, like an old friend or something. I don't know. It was kind of strange, but she was like young in my age. Yeah. So yeah. So then after that, they took me off morphine, and it was so sad. I was like hitting the button, and my nurse came in and she's like, "Oh no, like you can't, no more." And I was like, "No, why?" And she's like, "Well, first of all, I don't want to get you addicted. Second of all, we have to start you on this other stuff that you're going to be taking when you go home." So they put me on Dilaudid, and wasn't as good. So I was like, damn, like this sucks. And yeah, so then the next day I woke up, my mom came and they discharged me. And then throughout the visit too, a lot of like doctors were coming in, like a whole group of pulmonologists came in and they were like, oh, this is Audrey. During surgery, she stopped breathing. We should have put her on a CPAP machine, even though she didn't need it, but we should have. Because like, they didn't know, like whatever. It wasn't their fault, it really wasn't. I can't blame them, but like if I stopped breathing, like maybe you should have just like slipped one over me. I don't know how that all works, but like, I don't know. And they're like poking me and whatnot, and whatever. And then so yeah, I went home, and South Jersey sucks with roads, and there's potholes everywhere, and the roads are just terrible, and my mom hit every single one. So I was in pain, like being tossed around in the back or this passenger side of the car, just trying to get home. I made it home and went right up to my bed, and I didn't leave until like afternoon the next day. Just stayed in my bed and watched TV, nodded in out of sleep, whatever. So yeah, that is my hospital story. I think that's really it. So maybe this will be helpful to someone that's getting surgery at Jefferson Hospital in Stratford, New Jersey. Once again, best of luck to you. Hope you have a great experience like I did. Minus all that other weird crazy stuff, but it just adds to the story, I guess. It just makes my weird life complete, because I couldn't just have a normal hospital stay. I don't know. So yeah, bye, good luck.